All right, welcome back. The Bitcoin bull market indicators keep adding up. The golden cross on the daily happened today. Also, tomorrow we get a bullish monthly close. So today we're going to talk about all of these bullish indicators pointing towards a bull market for 2020. Also, we're going to break down the chart as usual. This is Crypto Rolly, the crypto watch that never stops. Live technical analysis, price predictions, and trading. Remember, trade at your own risk. Do your own research. This is not financial advice. All right. Welcome back, guys. Looking at the Bitcoin market, over 1 billion in real volume on BTC. We got 2% on the 24-hour USD gain. Also, we got 14% on Litecoin, XRP 4%, Ethereum 6%. All of the majors are pumping and looking good. Crypto Fear and Greed Index at a 57. Pretty neutral, and we're going to think about this in just a second. I got an article to show you. So remember, 57, not all the way up here, still pretty neutral, all right? Block halving in 102 days. Okay, so I was looking at this, just popped up on my screen. Bitcoin may look like a rocket ship, but investor euphoria remains a problem. Basically, guys, I'm putting out a video today showing all of these bullish indicators. People are getting excited, and sometimes when everyone's excited, you know, the worst can happen. Sometimes the rug just gets pulled out right from under you, okay? But like I said, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is only at a 57. It's not looking too greedy. So, you know, are we all the way euphoric? I'm not sure. But you got, you know, the moon, the moon. What a name. He's out here tweeting, you know, BTC looks like a rocket ship. We have been on a parabolic rise the past few weeks, but, you know, we all know what happens when BTC goes parabolic. What goes up must come down. So we will have pullbacks along the way. And this guy here, he says, historically, when people are over the moon, making too much money, predicting insane targets, well, that's when we get these pullbacks, all right? So just keep that in mind. Be cautious, you know, be prepared for anything, okay? Also, Craig Wright, back in the news, has all warnings of a full Bitcoin SV breakdown. Guys, I'm a little worried about Bitcoin SV breaking down because in 2018, when Bitcoin Cash had the hard fork to become, you know, they split off. It was Bitcoin Cash, and then Bitcoin SV split off from that. That's actually when we had the crash from 6,000 down to low 3,000, okay? And then recently, when Bitcoin SV pumped like over 300%, we saw Bitcoin rally as well. So if Bitcoin SV starts dumping, that might have an effect on the whole market as a whole. And you can look at this price action here. This does not look organic. This just looks like a pump and dump right here. I mean, just straight up, can't be good. In fact, Mr. Wright admitted that he knew who exactly pumped the price. Over 350%. He knows who, but won't tell us. It's just, you know, it's kind of shady. So I'd be careful. You know, basically people were investing in Satoshi's vision because Craig Wright claimed to be the original Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. He was supposed to, in a court case, he was supposed to provide the keys to 1.1 million Bitcoin mined during the early years. But it's, you know, end of the month and he still hasn't provided us with those keys. So what's going to happen? I don't know. But another saga. Or the saga continues, I should say. So let's look at the charts. Let's talk about good old Bitcoin. Bitcoin down to 94.50. Guys, we did have the daily golden cross today. So that is definitely looking good for the macro. And, you know, I just want to point out what happened the last time we had the bullish golden cross on the daily with the 50 EMA crossing over the 200 EMA. Basically, you can see this happen back in April 2019. So the day that it happened, we can zoom in just a little bit more. You can see that it took like a day or two till the price actually started the rally. So if you're expecting us to pump immediately, I would hold off on those expectations. I do think this is great for a macro narrative. I think that, this is a great signal that we really are in a bull market, but I wouldn't expect price to pump $1,000 today. If you're on spot or you hodl, this is great to see. Great maybe time to DCA, dollar cost average. But if you're on margin and you're in and out like me, a day trader, just know that, it might take a day or two before we start a rally. We could even have a pullback, okay? So just keep that on your radar. But as far as like the macro, let's look at from this cross, we went up 170%, 167% on the last golden cross. So definitely a good signal. And then if you want to go back even further to the golden cross that happened previously, let's take a look at that. The previous golden cross was way back here, guys. Let's take a look. Wow. So we're talking about 2015 we had that last cross. All right. So from here to here, 7,500%. So what did I say? Something like 150% on the previous golden cross, but the one before that, over 7,000%. So guys, if this is the rally of all rallies and we're going to go to 50K, this is a good signal, but it may take some time, okay? But good to see, good to see. Also, I'm going to go to a different chart. Let's go to a cleaner chart real quick. I'm going to go to my BitMEX chart here. We have the monthly close tomorrow, okay? So, talking about the monthly close and why this is important. Let me zoom back in. All right. Close out this EMA. All right. So, basically, look at here. So the what month was this? November opened around 91.50. Okay, so we had this horizontal resistance here based on the monthly open in November, and currently we're putting in a bullish engulfing on the monthly. Price is at 94.70. Tomorrow we will get the close on the monthly. So basically, in my opinion, and this is not financial advice, but in my opinion, if this monthly closes above 91.50, super bullish. We clearly broke out of this downtrend here. Even on the monthly, we broke out of it, and we're getting a bullish engulfing on the monthly. Another bullish indicator lining up, okay? So that's good to see. We'll see what happens tomorrow on that. Also, let's go to a weekly. We had our hash ribbons. I haven't talked about it in a second, but we did have the buy on the hash ribbons, okay? And the previous time we had the buy on the hash ribbons, we called this bottom down here, okay? So there you go. I think we might have put our bottom in. Based on this, we did put our bottom in. Going back further, this also called the bottom here, okay? So the previous two called the bottoms. So that's another bullish indicator on the macro. What else do we have? Okay, we can go to our EMAs. Let's put on our 21 EMA. Okay, hold on one second. I need to get that back up there. So the 21 EMA, actually, let me go back to the Bitstamp. The Bitstamp goes back a lot further than BitMEX. So when I'm looking at long term, especially like weekly, monthly, I like to use Bitstamp, okay? So you can see, once we got above the 21 EMA on the weekly, the bull market was on and popping. We're back above it. I've been talking about this extensively, and we closed above it. We back tested it as support, and then we got a super nice bounce. So this is looking good. We want to maintain above the 21 EMA to maintain a bull market narrative. So what do we have? We had the hash ribbons buy signal calling the bottom. We have the weekly 21 EMA that we closed above, tested as support, bounced off of it, looking good. The monthly close is looking bullish. Also, we had the daily golden cross. All of this is adding up and looking good. And on top of that, we have the halving coming in May, right? And we all know what happened after previous two halvings, bull markets, okay? So also I do want to note before those halvings, I don't know if I have those verticals set up, but I can tell you, I've been talking about it. Basically, you have a rally right before the halving, and then a couple weeks, like a few weeks before the literal halving, you have a bit of a pullback, and then once the halving happens, then the price takes off again. That's what happened the past two, okay? So we'll see what happens this time. So a lot of great stuff happening here, but let's jump into the charts, look a little closer, because we did not take off. The price did not pump super hard when we got the golden cross today. Could we get a little bit of a pullback? That would be natural. So let's go to the 4-hour chart and we'll break it down. All right, hit that like, comment, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but if you can, hit the like and all that good stuff. Definitely helps out the channel and keeps me coming back to doing these videos for y'all on a daily basis. Okay, so I'm going to put all my MAs back on here. So one moment. These are just the ones I prefer. Okay, so on the 4-hour, we bounced off of our 10 simple. We were using that as support here, support here. We used it as support here. And we had some heinous action earlier today. Savage. If you look at the 1-hour real quick, you can probably see that a little better. On this wick here, this candle here, a nice red Darth Maul. You see the wicks on both sides. So we went up, hit 9,500. I'm sure a lot of people on margin longs started to FOMO right here, and shorts got taken out. I'm sure there was a lot of stops right above here. Those shorts got taken out, and then boom, dumped. So anyone who like bought in here who was bullish or FOMO'd here, and anyone who had put their stops beneath this guy, all taken out. So that was just nasty. Arthur Hayes making some money over there on BitMEX. I don't know, but anyways, so let's go to the 4-hour. That's just what happens in this market. So that's why you never go all in. That's why you got to be prepared for anything. That's why risk management is important. Even if you did get stopped out on that play, if you have proper risk management, basically, it'd be a small loss, okay? Basically, I'm looking to only risk 1% of my portfolio max on each trade. So, if I get stopped out, it's not the end of the world for me, okay? That's my strategy. So anyways, we bounced off the 21 EMA, looking good. And it looked like we were going to go for a real pump today, but we're kind of stalling out here. And why are we stalling out here? Well, let me get rid of the hash ribbons. A number of things. Basically, the BitMEX funding has been pretty high. I can pull that up real quick. Let me show that to you guys. We're going over everything today. Everything. We can throw this BitMEX funding on. Let's see that. Also, you had this bearish divergence. And the bearish divergence on the 4-hour is just getting more and more obvious. You had bearish divergence clearly right here. And then we went for another, high. And again, a lower high on the RSI. So very evident bearish divergence on the 4-hour RSI. 4-hour RSI. Your 4-hour Stoke, has been coasting up here. Eventually this will probably get a cross down. Doesn't have to happen today. I'm not trying to call too many tops. We saw what happened right here. So, like if you were trying to call for a top, or you were trying to short right in here because you said the 4-hour Stoke was too high, you got your ass handed to you basically. So, you we could still rally when Bitcoin's bullish. You know, the Stokes and the RSI don't matter as much, but keep it on your radar. You know, I am aware that this is happening, okay? Also, looking at our BitMEX funding, let's see. I want to take off the premium index, just what I like to do. Let's go to the daily just for 1 second so I can show you. We'll hide this thing here. Okay, so guys, you can see that the funding was higher than it's been in the past 6 months, okay? And basically when this gets too high, pullbacks are likely. When it gets too low, pumps are likely, you know? But you know, if you go back to the last rally, you can see we got super high here before a pullback and even higher here before a pullback. So in comparison, let me slide this over. I realize I'm in the way. So in comparison from this to this is nothing, okay? So definitely, I wouldn't say just because the BitMEX funding was high that we have to have a pullback, because as you can see, it's nothing compared to this rally in the past. But zooming in the past 6 months, it is the highest it's been in a while, okay? So just another thing to be aware of, okay? You know, you want to look at all of these indicators and then form your opinion, okay? If it's a majority bullish, then, you know, a long is a good idea. A majority bearish, maybe a short, but I wouldn't be, you know, too quick to short. If you are, just be prepared to have a tight stop, you know, be prepared to be stopped out. You know, if Bitcoin's acting like a freight train, sometimes you got to get out the way. Anyways, enough about that. Let's go back to the usual breakdown, okay? So, 4 hour. We looked at our EMA. We talked about the bearish divergence on the RSI. We do have another cross up on the Stokes. So, I mean, do we go for another pump here, or are we going to get a cross down soon? Who knows? But we are up pretty high, getting tired, I would say. Let's go down here to our Ichimoku. We'll take this off. So, okay, the blue conversion line is catching up. It did act as support here, so we did have a nice bullish bounce off of that, but the conversion line's coming in at 92.20, so that would be, if we do get a pullback, that would be the first area of support on the 4 hour. All right, did I say, hold on the 21 EMA? Okay, so the 21 EMA is also coming in at 92.18 as a support, and then the 10 simples at 93.70. So that could be a potential area for just a bounce, okay? So, you know, 93.70 to 92.18. Your 50 EMAs all the way down at 89.50. You know, other areas that might be of interest for a pullback. Let's see, I have another chart. I got a lot to show today, as I said. I waited today I wanted to see how the price kind of developed today before putting out my video. So I do have a lot to say. So thank you guys who've been supporting the channel. I hope that you've been able to benefit from this stuff. Let's see. So here we go. All right. So yesterday we were in this range between 9,400 and 9,200. And we were riding along this really steep trend line here, okay? So guys, if this trend line, this white trend line, which has been holding us up on this parabolic rally, if this breaks, that could be also a signal for a pullback. So if we do break, currently you do have 9,400 as support, so I should turn this to green now. Basically, this is the top. This was resistance, and now it can act as support. Classic resistance flip support. But if 9,400 breaks, your next support is the 9,200, which was also a resistance flip support. And then you have the CME gap down here. If you look at the CMEs, you can see that. Let's see real quick. So you have the gap here. And then we still have a tiny little gap here. We could possibly fill these if we get a pullback. I wouldn't hold my breath, but if we do get a pullback, all the Gap boys are going to be cheering and be like, see, I told you, I told you, I told you. Okay, so we do have those gaps. Going back to that Coinbase chart, let's take a look. So that could be an area where we bounce. You have the gap all the way down here, and the daily 200 SMA was around 8,900. It might be a little bit lower, but you know, I would say 8,900 would be also an area of interest. Okay, so these would be areas that you might look at for support. So going back to the Bitstamp chart, going back to the Bitstamp chart, let's move on to the 12-hour. On the 12-hour, you have your 10 simple support coming down at 91.50. Okay, we did bounce off of that previously, but if we get a pullback, that could be another support there. Your yellow 21 at 89.34. Ichimoku, way down here. So you can see, I've said many times that, you know, these support indicators act like a magnet. When price takes off, sometimes they get too far separated and they'll go sideways or come back down to it. So it's all the way down here at 88.90. All right. Also, if you're looking for a pullback and you're looking for, you know, a short-term bearish bias, I would say the stochastics are super high and looking for a cross down. So that hasn't confirmed yet, but prices all the way down at 94.58, 94.70 currently. Okay, and your RSI is pretty high as well. Okay, going to the daily, the Stokes are still coming up, still have room to go. They haven't curled or had a cross, so you know, I wouldn't be too quick to call the top, as I said before. And you don't really have any, I don't see any bearish divergence, so to say. If we keep going up from here, the RSI has room to go as well. So I wouldn't be too quick to call a top, based on just basically that we have more room on the daily to go. Okay, but let's see. You do have this resistance at 9,600. This resistance at 9,600 goes all the way back to 2018. You had support, flipped resistance, support all around here, flipped resistance, and you're going to see this act as resistance again. So that's why I had been calling 9,600 previously. I think we got up to like 95.80 or something close to that. Let's see, 95.70. So close enough. I'd say close enough. So this is definitely going to be a region of resistance. Also, you had a lot of trading in this region here. So, you know, and basically retesting underneath this horizontal. Definitely an area where we could see a pullback, and I would not be surprised. All right. Let's put away these drawing tools. Ichimoku cloud. Let's see if we see anything interesting. You know, okay. The cloud did close up. And I would say in the next, if the price remains in this area in the next day or two, you're going to get a green cloud form. That's pretty bullish. Otherwise, your support's all the way down at 87.65 on this blue conversion line. But this did close up, and I think we'll get a green cloud. So that's not looking bad at all, okay? Our EMA MAs, just well above the 200 simple. But if we do come back to retest the daily 200 pink simple moving average, it's all the way down at 88.84. The 10 simple is coming back up, is coming above it. We did cross above it with this daily. So 10 simple's at 88.92. That will be your first support on my major moving averages. So getting this cross above is pretty bullish. And if we can maintain here, you're going to see all of these start to cross above. If we can get all of these above the 200 simple, you're really looking bullish. And we did have the golden cross, the orange 50 EMA cross above the light green 200 EMA. So the moving averages are looking pretty good. Just want to maintain above here. All right. Moving on. Let's just look at our 2-day Stoke, see what's happening. 2-day Stoke, crossed down, crossed back up. So could be bullish. Your RSI has plenty of room to go. You can see when we were super bullish last rally how high it can get. So we still have room to go. And on the 3-day, tons of room as well on the RSI. And your Stoke, it crossed down, crossed back up, kind of curling down. Not sure what to do. Kind of looks like this region. They are pretty high. Might get, a pullback. Would not be a surprise. The weekly is still, it's looking pretty good. The weekly Stoke's coming up pretty strong, okay? And it's coming into the neutral zone. So we'll have to see if we get rejected in the neutral zone or if this guy just keeps on trucking. Our EMA MA, we talked about that, looking good. Ichimoku Cloud, we're just pumping through the middle. Your top support's going to be at 10,370. I want to see us eventually close above here and consolidate above here. We're going to want to see this close up and form a green cloud down the road, okay? And our monthly, do I have anything on the monthly? No, not worth looking at. What about EMA, MA? So this monthly close, looking to close above the 10 simple on the monthly. Your 10 simple is all the way down at 85.89. So I'm pretty sure, unless something just drastic happens, I'm pretty sure we'll get a monthly close back above all of the moving averages. You can add that to your list of macro bullishness, okay? So let's close that out. We're going to wrap it up with the Heikin Ashi. Wicks on both sides, putting in a nice green reversal on the Heikin Ashi. Looking good. The weekly, looking good. 3-day, also looking good. Hit those likes. Please comment if there's anything you would like to see in any future videos. Also bullish on the 2-day, on the 1-day, bullish, 12-hour, bullish, 4-hour. Also looks good. I don't see a reversal candle yet, but if we do dump, that might change. All right, so guys, I know that was a lot. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you. Hey, if you watched all the way to the end, comment, let me know. I want to know who my real supporters are. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting me. Many more videos to come. This has been Crypto Rolly. This is not financial advice. We'll see you next time. And I'm out.